The next thing you need to do is revise your question for a specific audience. In this class, you know the audience that is envisioned for this paper. For writing project 1, which is a critical reading of a sport or dance video game or online video, the audience is an ethnomusicologist, and the sample of that you have is Curie Miller, who's worked on video games. So the thing to do is think about what are the interests of that audience that go beyond the particular subject matter you're writing about. And when I think of Curie Miller and the things that she's interested in that sort of point outside of the particular video games she writes about, I think of two things. One of them is ethnography, the study of people and their daily activities in a given place. Usually ethnography happens in a place. So what kind of place is a video game? And she tries on all these different ways of thinking about what place video games might represent. She thinks about urban geography when she looks at GTA. She thinks about movies and tourism. When she talks about Guitar Hero, she talks about performance spaces, and she looks at physical spaces. So lots of that is testing out what kind of a place the video game can be and can be understood as by its players. And a second thing that runs throughout her book is the relationship of the player to their avatar. And I think for her, a lot of that has to do with what does the avatar constrain you from doing and what does it enable you to do. In other words, it's a really classic set of questions she asks about structure and agency. So remember that my question is about television, the role of television visuals in classic basketball video games. And I'm going to rephrase that question here for the audience of Curie Miller. Look how I've done that. So I note what my presupposition is, or my starting point, that classic basketball video game visuals resemble televised sport events. I probably have to define what classic is, but we'll do that a little later. Then I ask the questions in terms of Curie Miller's two interests. How does this metaphor, video game as television, inform the experience of players in the place of the video game, as Curie Miller might put it? It's just like inhabiting the movies, or the imagined movies that of Miami that she talks about for GTA. And then I think ask the question of agency. What does it let them do? What does it prevent them from doing?